Shvua Tov, everyone. Welcome to audio story number 4 for our WhatsApp group. This is a very interesting story. Before I start, I have to explain 3 things. There's 2 Rebbes in this story, the Tzemek Tzedek and the Halak Arishna, as they were known to their contemporaries and to their Chasidim. Tzemek Tzedek after a book of halacha that he wrote, and the Halak Arishna meaning the holy Rabbi Yisrael of Rishon. Even his contemporary Rebbes refer to him as the holy Rishna. They had a very, very high level of cooperation between them, often solving problems for the Jewish people as a whole, even though they never actually met face to face. Tzemek Tzedek passed away in 1866. The original Rebbe passed away in 1850. There's a Chassid. One Chassid is mentioned by name in the story. He's the title figure. His name was Yaakov Ish Tam. So I call it in English Jake the Innocent. Call his name Jake the Innocent. Although you can find Yaakov Avinu, Patriarch Yaakov referred to as Ish Tam in the verse in Parshas Toldos, where it says that Esav was a hunter and Yaakov was an Ish Tam, an innocent person dwelling in tents, meaning studying Torah. In other words, innocent, not the opposite of guilty, but innocent meaning the opposite of complex, complicated. And finally, why did I choose this story? Because of the verse in this week's Torah reading, in Bahar, the first of the 2 Torah readings, chapter 25, verse 35, where it says, when your brother, meaning your fellow Jew, becomes destitute and his hand is weakened with you, so you must strengthen him, he shall live with you. Okay, here we go, Jake the Innocent. As a result of a devastating fire, new houses had to be built for the Tzemek Tzedek and his sons. The day the cornerstone was laid, a large number of Chasidim attended the ceremony. A table and chair was set up for the Rebbe at the construction site. He sat and asked the Chasidim which they would truly prefer him to say for them, a deep Hasidic discourse or a story. The surprised Chasidim were quick to choose the story. They explained that lessons in the Hasidic themes we merit to hear from the Rebbe fairly often, but stories only rarely. The Tzemek Tzedek acceded to their request and told the following. Yaakov Ish Tam made his living by leasing the land and rights to all the business and agricultural properties belonging to a certain duke, the Poritz, and then subletting them to different individuals. He rented one into a certain Jew who was unable to come up with the rent money he owed at the end of the year. Yaakov Ish Tam sent notice to the man that he had better pay the money or else he would be forced to evict him. It so happened that Yaakov Ish Tam and the innkeeper were both Chasidim of the famous Rabbi Yisrael of Rishon. The desperate tenant traveled to his Rebbe, and asked him to intercede with Yaakov Ish Tam to ask him to wait another year, whereupon, with God's help, he would pay him for both years. The tzaddik was successful, and Yaakov Ish Tam agreed to the delay. However, at the end of the 2nd year, the poor man's situation had not improved at all, and again he was unable to pay for either year. Yaakov Ish Tam told the man to go look for another place, because now he was 2 years in arrears. The poor Lisi once again went to the Rishon Rebbe to ask him to intercede again, saying that surely God will help him, and at the end of the next year he will pay off the entire debt. Once again, the Rebbe was able to influence Yaakov Ish Tam to not pressure the innkeeper and wait an additional year. After the 3rd year was up, there was still no money forthcoming. This time, the Rishon was unable to convince Yaakov Ish Tam to wait a 4th year. The latter insisted he could not afford to give in to his Rebbe's appeal and proceeded with the eviction of the unfortunate tenant from the inn. It was not long afterwards that Yaakov Ish Tam returned his soul to his Maker. When his case came before the heavenly court, they found the record in the 613 mitzvot to be excellent. But there was one serious charge against him. He had failed to heed a direct request of his Rebbe, the tzaddik of Rishon. The court ruled that he would have to enter Gehinom, Purgatory, when suddenly a man appeared and challenged the court's ruling. He pointed out how the members of the court were all souls that had been away from physical life for many, many years and had forgotten or never knew how difficult monetary affairs in the flesh and blood world really are. That Yaakov Ishtam obeyed the original Rebbe twice and went without being paid the rent on his inn for 3 years was nothing short of extraordinary. To do so yet another time was simply beyond his strength and too much to expect. My opinion, concluded the Tzemek Tzedek, is that Yaakov Ishtam is innocent. What do you all think? Now the Chasidim understood why the Rebbe had offered to tell a story. The heavenly court had agreed to use a judge and jury still in the world. The Chasidim were quick to respond, innocent, innocent, and they declared in unison.